background.
Can you come up and show where's the repetitive stuff that you see?
Right here.
That's it. So when you're posing, you put the bride by herself, you do whatever it takes to just show that little gift. Okay? If you start showing the sky and all this stuff, you throw away all the gifts that you had. Now, what else is going on with their arms that's not very good, Pepe?
They're too straight and they're
No, they are
it's too stiff, I mean.
close, but they are
90 degrees.
they're mirroring.
Oh,
They're both doing the same thing. It looks like you're forcing them to pose. It looks tacky. You have to make it, clean it up. If one's hands are this way, you have to switch it over. Okay? Now, what's properly done in the face expression, Juliana?
They're looking across each other.
Their noses are crisscrossing,
Yeah.
so it looks a little more believable, but the expression, I don't believe it. The eyes, I feel like, are posed right, but it doesn't match the expression. He looks like he's just following directions. So how do you fix this? You have to inject a burst of energy into them. That's when you say, like, tell me what that skin smells like. Smell her skin and smell her skin and tell me what it smells like. And then he'll be like, what? And then he'll start laughing, you know what I mean? And then she'll be all shy because he's smelling her skin. So then you create this, the position of the heads are perfect, but then you have no injection of energy here. Like you almost finished the poem or the little poetry, and then you just kind of chopped it right there and there's no end to it. Okay?
So we just have a few more minutes before going to lunch.
Yeah. What's wrong with her arms?
90 degree angles.
Is she the brightest person in the frame? No. So what are the three subject emphasis elements we're going to do?
Focus.
Selective focus.
Light.
The lighting, they have to be the brightest,
And the sides.
or they have to be the biggest. Here, she's obviously the biggest, but it doesn't really help you. Like, you need to have the rest. See what I mean? Not to mention, there's a 90 degree on the arm. She looks like a structure. Okay? What are the gifts in this location?
Color elements.
Color. Do you see a single color there? Mm-hmm. So this photo probably could have been done just by the wall. Now that brown pole could have been a leading line, right? But then there was other elements that were introduced. You have all of this. You have these windows distracting you. You see that square? It's like a big tall rectangle. It's just kind of sitting in the middle of nowhere. Once you introduce elements like that, it takes attention away from them. So you could have cropped that out. This is okay. It's a little bit there. This is kind of in the middle of. So you could have just kind of kept it something like this, and then add directional light to his face to create dimension and depth. Okay. What's wrong with her arms?
90 degree angles.
Is the pose believable? Like, what is he doing? Right? Now, if you look at the background of this scene, there are plenty of places. Is that the most obvious frame, the one in the middle?
The green.
No, the frame. There's a frame here, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're framing them, but that the tree is the element of interest. So you should have balanced the tree. But the couple is in the same place as the one big element of interest. Remember the rules about elements of interest. What's the brightest? Or the most distracting, right? Which one creates the most contrast? Which one's the biggest? This one's big and distracting, right? So the couple should have currently gone on this side. Okay. So do we have any questions, or do we want to...
Let's definitely take some questions before we go to lunch, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
No. Go ahead.
So great that you guys are showing your images. I know it's hard, but honestly, to get your images critiqued is the best way to learn. So I'm really enjoying this. And so thank you for sharing all of those. Okay, Roberto, we have some people that were, the concept of the invisible plane was an aha moment for them, and then some other people were a little bit confused.
Okay.
So Alana Damron asked, how does this, the invisible plane of angle, apply to multiple subjects? And then TKY Isepic says, is the plane, does that equal the center of the frame?
Oh, no.
Can
Can
you
I borrow your
clarif-
camera? Can I?
Can you clarify for peeps
Yeah.
at home?
That invisible plane idea is an invisible thing you have to just imagine that comes out of the camera. If I was going to take a picture of Pepe here, I would choose an angle that would hit him in the eye first. If I can't, let's say you're leaning back, like you're slouching back. If you're doing this, and I'm in the same position, now this invisible plane is going to hit him in the stomach, and it's about 8 inches away from his eyes. So if I go like this, and I shoot, hits him right here, and that is about 7 inches from his eyes. Okay? So you have two ways to fix this. First, I would fix the pose. Your spinal cord is not straight. So I would strain it, lean forward. Now your eyes are closer to the camera. So now when I shoot my photo, this invisible plane comes out, and it hits you right on the eyeball. Okay? If you have two people next, can you sit next to him real quick? If you have two people, same thing. You just have two heads. So you're not going to shoot from here because you're just going to get the knee first, and that's going to be the center point. It's going to be what the viewer sees first. So same thing. This way, and shoot, and this comes out, and it pretty much evens out the distance between the focal plane and the faces. Okay? If I want to feature the bride, I would come around this way, and then I would shoot, and she will be the feature because she's the first thing the camera hits, and you would be out of focus. And when you do that, I would remove context. You don't have to show the whole body. It looks too much. Remember, everybody that's listening, look at your surroundings. Look for geometry, balance, symmetry, contrasts. Look for location. Look for elements of interest that could be there. Look for potential shadows, whether they're there or the ones you can create. Remember all those little things we talked about, the posing guide stuff? And remember the most important of it all is the subject emphasis. Your subject should be the brightest, the biggest, and it has to be the ones that are in focus. If you have a cool castle or whatever, you can make them smaller, but they should be brighter. If you want to show like the scene, make them the brightest, and make them the ones that are in focus. Don't show the whole scene in focus, you know? Okay, what other questions?
Well, I mean, that's such an awesome wrap-up. I think that's a great time for us to go to break.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
folks, we're going to take a 45-minute lunch break. Roberto, what are we going to do when we get back?
We're going to start the photo shoot. Woo! We're going to go around with our awesome models, and we're going to start doing the photo shoot. Students are going to be looking for, I'm going to be challenging students. They're going to be going through problem solving. They're going to be shooting. I'll be helping. We have lots of goodies and fun coming up. So, all right.
Very cool. So before we go, wanted to read off a couple of things about what the internet is saying, Roberto. F. Ship says, wow, I love Roberto. I never realized how blind I was, and now I can see. Ooh. And Alana Dameron says, and the tip of composing your shot to just have whatever pattern your location gifts to you, and then making it blurry and darker compared to your main subject is brilliant and doable. And it's the doable part that I love, because these are all things that once you practice and learn them, will be there.
Right. You're isolating the gift of the location.
I like that a lot.
Isolating
the gift.
Well, I'm already completely sold on this workshop. I like that you're teaching us how to learn, and I like that you're teaching us how to see. So I really appreciate both those things. We're pretty much laying the groundwork here, folks, for the shooting that's going to come later. I'm really excited about knowing 1.25 million poses. Was that it? Was that the
I
number?
think if you combine these elements with any pose, no matter how you put the couple, you're always going to have a successful pose. Especially because the spinal cord is always going to be straight if you do it properly. So it's a lot to remember, but like I said, when you get the recording or whatever, you can rewind, and play again, rewind and play again. It's going to take time. This is not something you do in 3 days. Takes a long time, takes a while. But let's start today, right? Or let's start.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're saying you need to practice, and so a great way to practice is to purchase the course and practice. So we are going to be back in 45 minutes. I also wanted to just let you know that we are going to provide a location, posing, and execution chart that's going to be available if you do purchase the workshop. So save money and purchase that now, and we'll see you guys back here in 45 minutes.
Hello everyone, I'm Ioana and I'm here to give you an exclusive look into the modeling industry and walk away with legitimate knowledge. At the beginning of my journey, I made a lot of mistakes, and I find that very common amongst up-and-coming models.
Welcome back from break, everyone. We are excited to have moved into the library here at our location. So before we start shooting, we are going to give away a couple of prizes. And the first prize is a $250 gift certificate from Graphy Studio. And so, Roberto, would you talk a little bit about them?
Sure. Graphy's been my album company of choice since I started my photography career. And they are fantastic flush mount albums. And they just recently came out with really neat types of paper that looks really sophisticated, even, and the covers are just really solid and it just looks really beautiful. So we're giving out $250 whether you are a current customer or you are not. So it doesn't really matter. We're just gonna pick somebody out, which you can apply to any order from them, okay?
Cool,
Good luck.
awesome. So the winner of that prize is Ana Graniela Rivera, and the Twitter handle is Ana Graniela, and the quote is push, fail, learn, evolve.
Oh, very nice.
Awesome.
I like
one.
that one as well. Okay, and the next prize, folks, is going to be a triple scoop music gift certificate for one song, plus a White House custom color image box, and that's a $110 value. The winner of that prize is Michael Novoseletsky, and Michael's Twitter handle is Michael Novosel. And his quote today is, "I don't want to inspire you, I want to encourage you to take action to make something."
Oh man, I love it.
You have great quotes.
People are really going at it.
They
Like,
really
this is
are.
great.
They don't mess around when it comes
I
to
love
quotes.
it. They're totally paying attention. That's great.
They are. So congratulations.
They're gonna take solid photos. Nothing where they blend in with the environment. The bride and groom or the fashion model, whatever, are gonna stand out, and there will be no doubt. We're inside this library, so I don't know if you can pan the camera around, but it's a library. So we have wood, carpets, floors. We have a couple of windows. We have some paintings with some glass, with some frames. We have these stools to lay on or sit on. We have all these chairs. We have a bunch of books. We have small little lamps, windows, chairs, and this little dome light going on in the ceiling. The reason why I say that is because if you're listening at home, I want you to start looking around the scene and try to see if you can find 3 color elements or less, seamless colors. If you try to find balance, symmetry, if you try to find a way to make shadows, find patterns, repetitions, balance, symmetry, you name it. And especially the lighting tools we have, our window light. We have my Canon 600 flashes. We have Jerry Gionis's ice lights available for us to light up the models. And we have reflectors and diffusers. So to my awesome audience members, your tools to create subject emphasis is going to be your window light, the diffuser, and you're gonna have to use it creatively somehow, and I'll help you. Reflector, ice lights, and flashes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. Do you guys have any questions?
Nope.
No? All right, we have Matt coming out. So, here's Matt. We're gonna have Keisha come out and join us in a little bit. She's still putting on makeup. So I'm going to basically pick on my very first student is going to be David. I want you to, you have matte, you have window light, diffuser, reflector, ice lights, flashes, the lenses, and the Canon gear, right?
Okay.
I want you to start by using the room's items to create a photo that has contrast.
Okay.
Contrast. So somehow he has to be lit in a contrasting way.
Right.
There has to be elements of contrast in this location, which there are plenty of.
Yes.
If you're watching online, take a round look at the room and see what could you do for yourself if you were looking for a contrasting situation. Okay, so take a look, David, and see what you want to do. Study the light. Study what you have available to you, and I can help you.
All right.
Okay, don't worry about it. Just try
I think I
it.
know already what I want to do.
Go ahead.
I want to put him on that chair.
Okay.
I got him lit by the window light. It's
Okay.
It's
Yep, go ahead. Okay, so you can go ahead and put the camera down. That sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and discuss how we can arrange, how we could have turned this into a more dynamic, cleaner background, okay?
Okay.
The first thing is, if you're gonna go for the contrast, that fill light was good, but
Right.
it evens out the light,
Okay.
right? It would just even it out, which is fine. My biggest concern is the back of the chair is completely, pretty much almost blown out by the sun,
Right.
which would compete with his face. See what I mean? The body positioning is a little bit awkward because he's sitting too far back on the chair.
Yeah.
So your angle that you shot it from was right on the money, but this time try to bring his body on the edge of the chair. So go ahead and sit on the edge of the chair
All right.
and forget that armrest because it's putting his body in a weird position.
Yeah.
Go ahead and lean forward and rest comfortably. There you go. Now he looks more confident. He doesn't have this side view going on.
Right.
Now the challenge is
Can
there's
do
a stripe of sun going right through his face.
Right.
Right? And we have these tools. This is the tool of choice that would have really helped you out. Is this guy right here.
Yeah.
Put this guy, could you do me a favor? Put this guy, look at the way he cleans up that light on him. So light right there. And try to make sure, I don't know if you can get that chair there too. And let's see what he looks like. So what we just did, we just evened out the scene in terms of luminance levels,
Yeah.
in terms of light. His face, if you bring that diffuser closer to him, he's gonna get brighter and brighter. You see how it gets brighter and brighter?
Yeah.
And the chair's still pretty bright, but it's not full of sun. Okay? So now, this is the short side of the face. This is the part that I'm going to illuminate. This is the longer side of the face. This is the broad side of the face.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna shoot from this angle and the same angle that you were
Right.
and see if we can fix it. So one thing, let me see here. All right, Matt, where are you looking at right now? Take a look at, let me see, let's try different eye positions. Are you looking at, can you see the light switch right there?
Okay.
Right there. Stay where you are, just take a look at that light switch. And lean forward just a tad more. Now, let's see, that looks quite good. Lean forward just a tad more. I'm gonna focus on that eyeball closest to me. And then, on the eyeball that's brightest. And then I'm going to snap this. Good, let's try one more time. Okay, we're not really necessarily need to show the whole body, right? We don't need to show the whole body. We can just show the part that we like,
Right.
okay? If we do this, it's putting way too much context on the photograph. See that? It's just putting way too much context. Now you have bright spots all over the place.
Right.
It's just not gonna work. But I will actually like to see that the back of the chair has got that wooden
arch.
frame.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a problem because it's going right, it's like a horizon line and it's going right over his head.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So if you do stand up to try to get a higher vantage point, you can eliminate that issue. Can you smile at that light switch? Yep, that's very good. Take a look at me. Turn your camera, chin down. Very good. Now go ahead and look at the diffuser. A little less. Right there, right there. Another thing I could do is turn the camera to a monochrome, put it in black and white, and then you can really get a reading of what the light looks like, which is pretty cool. And create a really cool photograph. See that portrait? Now you see that sunspot right there?
Right.
That's causing me problems. So you don't want to show that anymore, so I'm going to crop that sunspot out. And then you have something like this going on. Can you bring your nose slightly to the right? That way that nose doesn't cross over the cheek, and it doesn't elongate it. Tilt your head, your forehead down a little. Right there, right there, right there is good. One more time. And last one. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see this, but you can try, this is a very contrasting situation. The monochrome really helps you out to see the light better. And we got rid of a lot of these distracting spots. Like, for example, you see all these competing elements? You're gonna get rid of this. All this is competing with your groom.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You just wanna get something more like that, along those lines.
And we get a feel from the other side.
You can do that, but if you want to remove the contrast, right now this is like a contrasting situation. The only thing that's not helping is the wood part of the chair is going right over them, right over him. But that's why we switched angles by getting a higher vantage point, and you can put that above his head.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
And it looks a lot interesting. So, good job. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see. Next. Let's see, who wants to go next? Any volunteers, Nikki? Come on. Nikki, take a look around the room.
Okay.
Try to identify where you can create some sort of reflection. Okay?
Reflection.
You're going to create some sort of reflection with the elements that you have.
Okay.
To help you, you have ice light, reflector,
Okay.
kind of thing, okay?
I mean, I'm seeing reflection we could use here in the glass, or even, I don't know if the artwork, if it would be bright enough. I might need your help with this.
Where would you go first if you were going to go for a reflection?
I mean, the most obvious would be the glass.
But what's wrong with that glass?
It's not there's a lot of patterns, colors, lots of different colors.
But they're all part of the same family, so that's okay.
Okay.
What else is going on? Look at other areas of the room.
It's darker?
There's really not a lot of places, right?
Yeah.
You have two choices. You can do this bookcase, or you can use, which is what I would do, you can use the painting, right?
Okay.
Now, the painting's not going to cause a very good reflection, but that's only if you point at the painting directly on.
Right.
So what I mean is, if you put Matt here and you point at it, it's going to give you the boat,
Right.
right? But if you point this way, it'll be able to give you just the glass and the glass reflection. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you can try that.
Okay.
So right now I can see you,
can see you.
and a reflection of you because I'm going at it from
Right.
this point of view. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, of course, to get this to work perfectly, which if you were doing this, I would have to tone down the window light and then use an ice light to illuminate you.
Okay.
So let's see if I can get an ice light out. And we can get an ice light, and then you can go ahead and put Matt over here.
So, well, I'll have you, well, yeah, I guess that works.
Feel free to move the bench too. Like, you can move the elements around you to make it work.
Okay.
Can you see the reflection there?
Yep, so come a little bit closer. Okay, so relax your hand. Yeah, that actually looks really nice right now.
You can illuminate me.
His weight's on one foot.
Do you want the light?
The problem now is I can see the reflection of the light, so we'd have to move it around.
So you just have to go at
Or
a higher
just
vantage point,
yeah,
right?
right. And I wonder if we could turn that light off, because I can still see the reflection of that light.
Would it be possible if you do this, would that help it?
No.
Would you remove
Well-
that background?
Oh, yeah, if I cropped him just
You can do
right
whatever you
here.
need to do to make it work.
Yes,
Does
that
that
would
work?
work. So this needs to be a little bit higher.
Can you hold that for me for a second? Let me see something. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So obviously the white side is going to give you better reflection than the boat part, right? So you can shoot it from here and you'll have a cool thing. Now, what is he doing with his hands?
Nothing.
Okay, so they're
Put
just
his
in the
hands in his
pocket.
pocket.
Maybe he's tying the button. Maybe he's, let me
Looking
see.
at his cufflinks or something. Yeah.
See, now he's looking at the light, the reflection looks a lot better.
Okay.
If you turn his face this way, see what I mean?
I can't see the reflection.
You can, but it's just not
It's
working
not
right.
as-
You always
okay.
kind of want to turn your body towards the light, right?
Right.
So he would have to be adjusting his tie or something. You don't have to show his eyes either. You can just crop from the lip down. You can be creative on your crops. You don't have to say, here's Matt, I'm going to show the whole Matt.
Right.
You know, we don't need to show the feet because this is the only place we can actually get the reflection.
Right.
Okay? So go ahead and take the shot. Let me see. Can you?
Okay. I've never used a Canon before, so you might have to help me.
Okay, so here's your, I can help you with this. This is your shutter
focus.
speed.
Okay.
This is your aperture. Here's your shutter speed.
Shutter speed.
See, changes. And there's just push the shutter. The focusing is on the shutter button. Okay.
Thanks.
Be creative on your crop. Make sure there's nothing brighter than him
Right.
in the background. And I'm going to turn this around because of this little flap. You see this? So right there. Okay.
Just tell me how you want to pose.
So foreign, it's on my camera. Okay, so look towards the light.
Hold on, I need to tell you something. If you say look towards the light, they're going to look at the light. And that's going to
Okay.
hurt their eyes.
Okay.
Tell them to look in the direction of the light. So tell them to look at the bears or something. So then
Okay.
his eyes go through the light, but they're not looking at the light.
Okay. And yeah, that's perfect with your hand. Actually, you could relax your fingers a little bit and bring it up about 2 inches. Yeah, about right there.
There's a 90-degree angle on the arm, almost.
Oh yeah, that's
Lower
true.
his arm. So actually tell him to button his jacket with one hand. Just with use one.
Okay,
use the
so
one
one
hand.
hand button, yeah.
See how he looks all GQ now?
You think?
Yeah. Just he looks like he's got this. Try it out. Crop from the lip down.
Okay. I'm looking at your light meter here and I'm trying to, it's
Okay.
just different from mine. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, it's just so foreign because it's not my
It's okay.
camera.
If you don't like the hand, put it down in the pocket. That's fine. The other one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, bear with me with this camera, okay. Okay, can you, tilt your, actually, we'll just try it. I kind of cut off his face. Can you tilt your chin down just a tiny bit?
It's pretty cool. Try another one of those, but crop his eyes out maybe. Start from the underneath the nose level. Try it. Try that.
That's kind
So
of
show
cool.
his face equally, so you balance the reflection
Okay.
on the edge of the frame.
Oh, I see, crop both of his eyes out.
Balance him and the reflection. So that's pretty balanced, right? But
Yeah.
this time actually show more of his eyes again. Go ahead. And then let's try that also without the diffuser in the back and see what that looks like too.
Yeah, that's just, yeah, that's
So
a
try
little
that, see if that
distracting.
works.
Oh, that's not very balanced.
It's cool. I mean, you see how
Yeah.
he's the brightest part, but you're adding a little
That
hint
really-
of
that
something.
really is
So
cool.
you're starting to make something that's not normal for most people to
Right.
even think about.
To just
See what I
take a
mean?
painting and turn it into something
Into
that
a
looks
reflection,
very,
sure. Or have them take a step forward so the frame is not in the way. Now now you can try that again,
Yep, and you can lean your shoulder all the way against.
but don't put too much weight on that shoulder, otherwise, yeah. And take a picture of him and just maybe add a hint of the reflection this time. Take a vertical shot too.
I'm so used to back button focusing, and every
Yeah, I
time I
know.
hit it,
Yeah, I know.
it's like How do I just toggle?
Toggle what
Oh,
you
right
wanna do.
here. Just to move the focal
Just
point?
recompose instead of moving it, that way it's
Okay.
not too complicated. Okay, you have the brightest part of him is him, right? You have that lamp that's distracting you and that window's introduced, right?
Mm-hmm.
But try to get a little bit of that reflection on him and see if you can increase it or help it. Or you can back up a little too and zoom in.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so at one of the first shots you had a little bit of his reflection, but it was more like a portrait of him, right? And that looked really good. You're using the painting, which to people is just a painting, and you turned it into an element to create interest in the photograph.
Right.
Okay, and with some finessing, that can look really neat. See what I mean? So
Absolutely. That's awesome.
let's go ahead and step down. Let me see. We have Kisia now, right? Look at her. Oh my goodness. Transformation. Awesome. Yeah.
Before we move on, could we just, a lot of people are not familiar with the ice light.
Oh, sure.
Could you just talk about that for a
Okay,
minute?
so-
Thank you.
By the way, everybody that's watching, you're gonna get one of them. One of you guys is gonna win one of these ice lights. This was designed by Jerry Gionis, as you all know. It's basically probably the best light I've ever used for indoor lighting. It's white. It's daylight balanced perfectly, so it's like carrying window light everywhere you go, and that's why I like it so much. It doesn't have that tungsten yellow feel to it. It's got a very window light clean feel to it, so you can go anywhere indoors, and this will make it look like you have a window next to your subject. So it's really great.
I have a question. Can that be mounted on anything?
You can mount it on a tripod. You can put an adapter and put multiple together. You can do whatever you want.
Cool.
I have 2 of these, and I use them religiously. I use them all the time. Okay? Okay. So, let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Mallory, come over here for a sec. Okay. We're going to transform this room a little bit for you.
Okay.
We're going to turn this into a moody night shot. Okay? Do you still have your necklace? Yeah, you do. Okay. A moody night shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the element of this little lamp. I'm going to make the audience members, the viewer of the photo, think that this lamp is the light source for her. But it won't be. It will be the ice light. Okay? So, could you help me can we close these blinds a little bit? Can we close them or not really? Yeah, we can. So, let's see. Yep. Okay, so basically now so obviously we're not going to use this on the picture, right? So we'll take that out. We're going to try to transform the room so you can use it at its best. Okay, it doesn't have to be all window lit. You can create other kinds of looks. See what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, if you want, we can start out with this chair, or we can put another of these chairs in here, which might be good because it might be lower.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we can try it with this first. If we don't like it, we can switch the chairs. Okay? Now, remember about the spinal cord and all these different things? You're going to pretend you can sit her up here, so she's got this really straight, really modelly look to her. If you sit her on the couch, she's gonna slouch, okay? So choose something hard, so I think this would be a good spot, or the very edge, okay?
Okay.
Now this guy is gonna have to be moved, so it appears as if it was sliding her, okay? Let me see. Okay, Kisha, go ahead and take a seat. Now, we can have the ice light to pose, to light her up. But right now, that light's obviously not doing anything,
Right.
but we're going to help it, okay?
Okay.
And you might want to maybe even turn that seat that way so she can angle herself from the camera.
Can I move it back?
Yeah,
also?
of course. Where would you sit?
Am I allowed to, does this even swivel? It probably doesn't.
No. Try it out.
I'll probably break it here. Oh dear. Yeah, it doesn't swivel. But if it did, I would try to probably move it up to light her face a little more. So her face isn't lit at all, so I guess if I could get the...
Okay, take a look at the angles that you're going to shoot from, because if you shoot from there, you're backlighting, right?
Right.
If you shoot from here, from where I'm at, you have that green curtain, which is a softer
yeah.
tone. Does that make sense?
Right. I see what
And
you're
that's
saying.
more balanced. If you shoot from here, if you shoot this way, you can still tone it down because of that. So
Right.
choose the angle that you want. Don't go for the first obvious, which is the front.
Okay. Casey, will you look? Yeah, more towards me. Okay. Back. More. Maybe can I try?
Don't forget her hands.
Right. I do need a. Let's try the isolate on this side. Yeah. Casey, will you look at me? Just a tiny bit. Yeah, I like that. I think that's pretty. There is some shadow right here on her cheek, which I'm not sure if I like or not. Can you move it over a little bit? That's too much, a little less. Maybe right there. Oh yeah, I like that.
Can I stop you for a second, Miller? Now, you're using the chair to sit on, but the chair has other uses too. You can choose the chair. You can use the chair as a backrest for her back. So instead of sitting on the chair, she could sit on the floor, and then her back is up against the chair, and that's a backrest.
Okay.
That way, the light is above
Right.
her. Because right now the light's like right at the same.
I want to try that without the ice light. Okay, yeah, let's try sitting on the chair. Thanks, Roberto.
Now you can use this
Right.
and try to balance it somehow, right? Can I see that ice light real quick? So it will look like that, and people will think that this is what's lighting her up.
Oh, I see.
Does
So
that make
instead
sense?
of having it on the
Right,
side.
you see how you can really get
Right.
into it?
Okay.
Here you go.
Okay. All right. Can I get the camera?
I'll let you
Yeah,
borrow
that's
it.
where he was.
Okay.
Maybe up a tiny bit higher, and yeah, right there. Over a little bit. Yeah, that's good.
Now she's got a necklace, just want to mention it. And that necklace could also be used to give her hand something to do that looks more natural.
Will you take your right hand and kind of hold your necklace? Yeah, so we can see the charm a little bit.
And I want to stop you one more time. She's facing against the light. She should be facing towards the light. So if you want the light to be this way, I would photograph her either from here or you would have to stand over there. So go ahead. See, because you want her nose to be pointed towards the light, right?
Right.
You want her face to be the brightest point. Can we turn up the volume on this? Now her fingers are not soft, so we can work on all of that. It's probably because the angle that she's sitting at is too straight for the arm to be so far back.
I see.
Does that make sense? No, you don't have to use the necklace. I was just saying, it's a tool that you can use to give the hand something to do. Okay?
Let me see what I... Will you try looking down at your necklace? I just want to see. No, I don't like that as much. Okay. And then try putting your left arm down. Yeah, just perfect. Actually, will you kind of like lay it on the ground like that? There you go. That was too dark.
You use Canon or Nikon?
I use Nikon, so this is all
Okay.
backwards to me.
So here, you can, here's your shutter speed, it's slowing down, see that?
Oh, okay.
And here's your aperture, you can make it go to 2.8.
Okay,
And if you want, we can make your ISO 1250, that was a lot brighter.
that'd be good.
Okay, go ahead. You might want to speed up the shutter speed, that's going to be too bright.
Yeah.
Are you happy with how it looks? Let me see.
Yeah, I think so. It's just that the lamp gets in the way, and you know, I don't know how to crop it.
Well, you're backlighting her, and it looks really nice, right? You have the lamp illuminating that side, right? You don't show the lamp, so you don't know where the light source is from. And if you could add that as an element. So you could come this way. You could come this way, stay like that, keep your arms like that, keep playing, that's fine. Now, we're gonna turn her face towards the light, right? So see how she is already? Stay just like that, don't even move. Now you see the ratio of the eyeballs and the iris is a little too much white. So bring your iris a little bit, there you go, and then down a little bit. See right there? Or you can try chin up a little to get that light to really like fill her up, and then close your eyes. Good, and put your hand over the other hand and straighten your back. Right. So put her hand like over like you're like this, protecting it or something. Chin up to the left. Sorry, to your right. Right. Close your eyes. And now, can you put let me see something here. Go ahead and look down. Look higher up. And then look more that way, like come across this way. Right there, right there. Can you put more light on this side of her? Look straight at the camera. Straight at it, yeah. Chin down. Now look past to this armrest right here. Kind of bring your hands down, slightly soften them. And with your hand, grab the left side of your hair and just straighten it a little bit. The other side, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Slowly. Chin up. And turn your chin this way a little more. There you go. Just keep looking in that direction. Okay.